Hello, beautiful people. I wanted to come on and give all perspectives because if you guys watched my live earlier today, you saw that Shanquella's mother and her Shanquella's older sister, Tequila Long, they did a press conference today regarding a rally that they're going to have this Saturday. That's December 10th at about 4:30 in North Carolina. Well, there's two separate campaigns going on, in my opinion, based on observing what, the media and everything like that. So you will see separate, interviews with the mother, the sister, and then on the other side, you will see separate interviews that the father is doing. And that is simply, in my opinion, based on my observations, because Salamandra and Bernard are not married. So they have two separate campaigns going on. Doesn't mean they don't have the same ultimate goal, which is for justice for Shanquella, but two different campaigns going on. So I wanted to share, Bernard's campaign. Basically, he went on an interview with Court TV and wanted to share his perspective. And one of the key things that I just want to highlight regarding this interview in particular is that the heartbreaking fact, based upon what he is saying, is that the CABO 6 parents, none of them reached out to Shanquella's family. None of them reached out to the father. None of them reached out to Salamandra. And that is huge. That's very telling to me. It's very disappointing. It's very heartbreaking because it just shows the lack of empathy that the parents of all people have, in my opinion. I mean, it really shows you really what morality is and what people stand for when a tragedy like this happens. It's like the apple doesn't fall, in my opinion, far from the tree, because you've seen in that video, at least 5 of them allegedly, or 4. We've seen at least 4 of the 5 of the 6 CABO, at least. We can try to see, well, at least 4 of them that we can at least see or try to identify allegedly in that video who did nothing. They stood by as poor Shanquella was being beat. Actually, one of the 4 in that room was beating her to death. That was allegedly Dejanay. But then you see how these people's parents are behaving just the same way as their children are, standing by, not even doing absolutely anything to speak and show empathy to the parents. That is very huge. It's very telling. It's very quite disappointing and heartbreaking, especially because we heard allegedly that Nazir's mother spoke out and said that Nazir has cleared his name, that he spoke to the FBI and such. But we know even if you do speak to the FBI, that doesn't mean you clear your name completely. They're just gathering their evidence, and they're going to look into what the person said to the FBI to see if it's valid or if they're lying. So we already know that's not exactly true what he said, but at least we have somewhat of an allegation that he spoke to the FBI. With that being said, even Nazir's mother allegedly, based upon what Bernard is saying, and I've also heard Salamandra say this at the interview with Nancy Grace, that none of the parents, isn't that very, very disturbing that none of the parents from the CABO 6 reached out to these parents to even show empathy? It's very heartbreaking. Even Nazir's mother, when she wrote on her Facebook expressing condolences, she didn't respond to anything from Salamandra. She responded to some other person's post that was not the parents of Shanquella. It's like you're putting online that you expressed this empathy, but you didn't even reach out to the parents. It's disturbing. So let's just take a look at Bernard's interview that he has done. Like I said, there, in my opinion, just based on my observations, it looks like they're having 2 separate campaigns going on. On one side, it's with Salamandra and the sister, and then on the other side, Bernard's doing his separate interviews with the media. So that's kind of what I've been observing. So let's take a look, guys.
Mr. Bernard Robinson, thank you so much for joining us today. I so appreciate your time. I already said, and first asking, what is your latest understanding from law enforcement in Mexico as to the status of an arrest or charges?
Nothing.
they haven't given you any information about any arrest for your daughter's murder?
Nothing I know of, ma'am. It's just what the media and the newspaper saying, ma'am.
Ugh.
And which, like I say, I'm old school, ma'am. You know, I'm just a normal man, citizen that wake up, God grace, health and strength, just go to work and, you know, do what I'm supposed to do as a responsible father.
Tell us what you want us to know about.
The reason why I was a little hesitant to share this one, why I delayed, I already knew about this interview, but I was kind of delayed, is because Exhibit A right here. They have the wrong photo up. This is not Shanquella. Come on, Court TV, do better. I'm calling you guys out. Unacceptable. This is one of Shanquella's models that she had for her clothing line, Exquisite. So she has, I believe this is one of the photos of one of her models that she had on there. But come on, like, Court TV, do better. This is, like, to me, completely insensitive. This is not Shanquella, guys. So that was one of the reasons why I have not shared this with you guys. I already knew about the interview, but when I saw this, I was like, Court TV, unacceptable, y'all. Unacceptable.
Your daughter.
I mean, she was beautiful. I mean, she's beautiful on the outside. But I always tell her, beauty is not what's going to get you in life. You know, it's okay to be beautiful, but she had a beautiful spirit. She had a foundation that I raised up in the church at a younger age, got baptized in the church. I mean, she knew the Lord. She knew where her faith and her help comes from. You know, from a father that had a mother and a dad in the house that gave us discipline and structure. We weren't born with no silver spoon in our mouth. So I supplied over. My dad and my mother raised me till I become a man. And when I had her, when God blessed me with her, I tried to put those same qualities in her. And eventually, you know, it did through the grace of God, my prayers, my faith in him. So she was real. She was a people person, loving and caring, you know, cared about folks, never did look down on nobody, you know. Only thing she wanted to do is just enjoy life. She was a very smart, intelligent young lady. Always, you know, she was on the A and B honor roll ever since she hit, you know, junior high, high school, college, I mean, you know, elementary. I mean, she was just a bright, young, smart, intelligent lady. Just had life about herself. She's not a fighter, you know. She was just somebody that loved people, you know. My life didn't change behind all this. I didn't know the friends. I just know they went to college with her. That's about it. They're supposed to been going over there to celebrate one of their birthdays. But evidently, I guess they plotted, jealous and envious of her, and did what they did to her for no such a reason. I mean, you know, she didn't see it coming.
What did the friends tell you or your wife happened to your daughter initially, or did they tell you anything?
The friends ain't tell me nothing. Friends just told her moms, you know, that they came back with the luggage and her phone. Just came back and sit down there, you know, at her sister's house and ate food and, you know, sit there and just told them that big lie that it was alcohol poison, and which I knew it wasn't. I deep down in my heart, because I know how I raised her. I mean, you know, we're not perfect at all. You know, she wasn't no perfect child. I mean, she drunk a little, but alcohol poison? Nah. We all did that when we was coming up a little bit, just experiencing things, but still at the same time, she knew herself, and I knew her. I knew, you know, I know that's my daughter by just how I raised her, and I know for a fact she's too smart and too intelligent to put herself in that kind of situation like that, man. You know, for them to sit there and say it was alcohol poison, they sit around drinking and eating, and she got sick and wasn't feeling well, you know. And they asked was, it wasn't no altercation, none of that, ma'am. They didn't even reach out to me. They ain't called and said, Mr. Robinson, sorry about Shanquella. Their parents ain't called and give no kind of condolence whatsoever, ma'am. So, I'm not even gonna say they're friends, ma'am. They're not friends.
I thought they were going to fix the mistake. They still posted this fake picture of her, y'all. I can't. But just let's talk a little bit about what he said so far. First and foremost, you can notice that Bernard is just all cried out. He's exhausted. One of the things you notice when she said, "What did what did the authorities tell you about the arrest?" and he said nothing. That was just like a kind way to just say, I'm frustrated. I'm tired because I'm not getting any information. And this is exhausting to me. They haven't done anything. Another thing, he gives us a lot of different details about Shanquella, from her beauty, the fact that she knew the Lord, that she did have initially both her parents in the house. She's smart and intelligent. She's not a fighter. She loved people, and we saw that in the videos. And he also pointed out possibly the jealousy and the envy, and emphasized that, what he taught his daughter is that it's not always about the external. It's not always about just being beautiful on the outside. He was working on raising a daughter who had beauty on the inside. That's why he worked so much on her character, from her having moral principles, from her religion, to her, focusing on her school and her career. And the qualities that this young lady had can breed a certain level of hatred and jealousy and envy from individuals who don't have those type of accolades, success, all the full package that Shanquella had. But what makes it so sad is when you look at this poor father, he looks like he's given up. He's so tired. He's been waiting so long. And just imagine, guys, you got these people out here, these bloggers out here, still pushing and pushing and pushing, claiming there's an arrest. And it's like, you got to really look at those people's intentions. It's like, really, what are you trying to prove here? You see that these parents are exhausted. We just saw a press conference where Tequila Long went on the microphone at the very end to correct a news reporter who made a misstatement at the very beginning of the press conference. The reporter that misspoke and said that there was an arrest, she made that initial statement at the beginning of the press conference. So that means several minutes had passed, and that misstatement stayed on Tequila's mind for all of those minutes, and she didn't forget it all the way until the very end of the press conference. It still was engraved in her mind, and to the point of frustration that she had to go on the mic and emphasize there's been no arrest. Why is she doing that? It's because, unfortunately, we have a lot of people out here that have their own agendas. They want to be proven right. And it's frustrating because the family, you see the father here, he's frustrated. He said nothing. Why is he saying it like that? Like as if he's given up and he's frustrated? Because we got people out here pushing and pushing and pushing this fake news of arrest. Okay. And they have absolutely no proof of it. Not one receipt. It's like, even if, and I could say this, yes, with the treaty in place, initially, yes, the arrest could be initially private, but it would have been released by now, y'all, because they would have had a hearing. In our country, we are entitled and afforded limited hearings when there's an extradition. We're afforded that. That would have already been public. She would have appealed that. We would have been seeing all her hearings. So for them to push this arrest on this family who's not getting enough information, imagine the pain it's causing them. And then you have to really think, well, what is this all for? Are you really doing this for Shanquella? Because you're not helping the cause by harming the emotional stability of this family. You're hurting them. You're causing them pain and confusion and more frustration. You have seen a transition in this family over time because of the fake news. Now we see the mother blasting the FBI because she's thinking media outlets in certain areas in Mexico are getting information that she, as the victim, is not getting. Okay. And now you see this father here. When the news reporter, she asks, what have you known, if anything, about the arrest? And he's like, nothing. It's like, you got to really look at people's reactions and body language. That is him frustrated. Like, I'm entitled to this information and they have not told me a thing. Now, we also have information from an article I read to you earlier. You need to watch that video, from an FBI agent. She is a previous FBI agent. And she said, based upon her knowledge of being a previous FBI agent, that more than likely there has not been an arrest. And number two, FBI has stated they're still in the process of investigating, and that before an arrest can be made, before they have to finish their investigation. And they've already said in different responses that the investigation is ongoing. That's what they have. That's been their comment, that they can't say anything, that they're still investigating. That's all they've said on different news reports and sources out there. You can look at this stuff online. We already went over it. And we heard from Nazir's mother, allegedly, that he was just interviewed. So if he's just interviewed, that means they're still looking through the rest of that means they're still questioning people. So why would they prematurely go and arrest when we're hearing all this information? So you can look at this poor father. We just saw the mother and the sister, and you can see the toll it's having on the family. So let's get back to this. But look at this picture, y'all. They doing too much. Come on, Court TV. Really? Y'all could at least did your research. You call and you're calling Salamandra the wife, and there's implications that they're not together anymore. Come on, Court TV. Do your homework first before you interview.
I just want to know why. It's a whole lot of answers, a whole lot of questions not being answered, man. You know, I just want the U.S. attorney over there, Mexican authority, everybody around there were, you know, with a lot of prayers is going out for me and my family, ma'am. That's how I'm standing. I'm standing on everybody's prayers, ma'am, and they love and they caring is for me, ma'am, and God's strength and my faith in Him, Lord, and ma'am, you know, I just want everybody over there, the U.S. attorney, to feel my pain as a father, to know that their daughter came over here to the United States and had friends, and they supposed to come to celebrate a birthday, and then they get a phone call and saying their daughter had passed over here in the United States. You know, I just want the U.S. Attorney General, what he would do. You know, he would want the United States to do the right thing. You know, make sure these people are accountable for what they acting or what they did. Because right now, my life has been changed, man. My life been changed completely. You know, I ain't never experienced nothing like this right here. You know, thinking that she's gonna bury me, but I end up burying her, man. You know, as God's child, God blessed me with her. You know, and I try to raise up to the best abilities I could, man. And for them to take her away from me like that, you know, it's sad, man. It's just, I'm hurt. It's over a month now, and I'm still hurt, man. This pain is so deep to the core.
And one of the sad things he said is, feel my pain as a father. That right there cut me to the core when he said that. Feel my pain as a father. He said, questions not answered. And he literally is clinging to he has never felt pain the way that he has felt. He has to literally plead with the Lord for strength. That is the pain of this father that is the pain of the mother as well. You can look at her face on the hearing if you watch the video I did today. Towards the end of the hearing, I didn't point out that detail. Towards the very end of the hearing, you can see Shanquella's mother, and her face was just completely broken. It's a pain that a parent never wants to experience, ever. And we have to ask ourselves, as bloggers and as people out there who are advocating, who are we doing this for? Are we doing this because we want to be right, prove right about a arrest or not arrest? Or are we doing this because we really care? Because if you really care, you would tread lightly and be careful about the things you share, because you care so much about this pain that this family is having to endure. This father said, "Feel my pain. I have never felt pain like this. I'm asking for God's strength." And it's like he's in the dark about answers, but he has to see online all these conflicting statements floating around. So I wanted you to see his perspective, because we got to see the mother's perspective today and Tequila's perspective. But like I said, as you can see, and this has been a common theme that we've seen for the last month or so, is that they've been having separate interviews and meetings. The father does his own, it appears. I've seen them appear one time together, and that was the very beginning of the tragedy, where we saw Salamandra and Bernard. They had an interview together. But since then on, they've been having separate interviews, separate kind of, there's a separate press conference. I really pray that Bernard goes to that press conference, or the hearing, the rally. I hope that he goes to that rally this Saturday, because it would really help to have all of them together to comfort one another. But as you can see from that father, he is truly, truly suffering and tortured by this in the worst way. And it's like, us as individuals, I would just speak generally as individuals, speaking about certain things on here, we have to be very careful, because this information is disseminated and they see this information. They're online too, just like anybody else. They're looking, because you heard the father, or I think it was the mother, guys. Was it the mother or the father? Sorry, no, strike that. It was the father. It was the father that stated that he doesn't know anything. He knows just as much as the media knows. Right? So that means he's looking at the news. That means he's looking online to see what's going on. That means he knows what's going even on YouTube. You think, oh, YouTube, they're not looking at my YouTube. Yeah, they are. They are. That's why it's imperative that we tread lightly, although we continue to advocate. But, certain sensitive information where we know the one thing that they've wanted this whole time is justice, is arrest, is extradition back to Mexico. So imagine you give these parents false hope. There's been an arrest, right? And then they go and find out and confirm, no, there hasn't been. That's like you literally are re-victimizing this family, and you're causing them more pain. It's like you're taking away the very thing that they long for. It's so painful. And that's why I keep going over these interviews, because I need you to see the pain of this family. And just to advocate, if you see anything that's not honest out there online, just to advocate for justice, to say, hey, we need to be careful. Be careful. Like if you're sharing things that you haven't validated and you haven't confirmed, you don't know for a fact, because more so it's just speculating. It's like, well, there has to be an arrest, but what is your proof? Where is your evidence? You have nothing. So if you don't have anything, don't speak on it. Don't speak on it. Because you're hurting this family. What do you guys have to say about this? What do y'all? Our lives are not looked at as important at all. My heart goes out to her parents and family. Hi, Speak Vision. How are you doing, sweetie? Yeah, you're right. Our lives are not looked at as important. And what makes us sad is especially our Black community. It's like we always trying to make money off the struggle or the pain of the Black community. Sometimes you see a lot of people trying to get money off of our pain. And so it's true, we're not looked at as important. That's why it's so imperative that we disseminate accurate information, that we advocate persistently about this case, continually advocate, and tread lightly. His baby was taken away so brutally, only the grace of God will get them through. Right, Speak Vision. Did you hear him say? He said, God's strength. That's what he said. He said, I'm only getting through this through God's strength. That is a lot. My goodness, guys, the pain, the agony, the struggle, the heartbreak of this family. And that's why I'm just so adamant about speaking about this, because I care so deeply. It's literally like it's become a part of my own pain, like I'm one of the family members, because it feels like, Shanquella was one of our sisters and could have been us. It could have been us. We could have been Shanquella. And the whole thing is, anything is subject to happen to any of us, and how will we feel? How will we feel if something happened to one of our family members and we're praying and advocating for justice? And initially we were told that our justice, or basically our sister or brother, something like that. Unfortunately, their case was an accident, like we're hearing in this case, for example. Let's say that, right? And then we're fighting and advocating for justice, but yet we're being ignored repeatedly. Our pain is being ignored. And then finally, when our pain is acknowledged and it's heard, and we've been waiting so long for justice, and now, the investigation is starting. The investigation is starting. However, even though the investigation is starting, we've got individuals out there spreading false rumors about an arrest when it hasn't been one. Imagine how you would feel. It was like somebody ripped away that hope of justice that you wanted, that you longed for, that you pleaded for. It's like they took it back. They took back the very thing you longed for. That is very painful. Man, I can literally feel their pain looking into their eyes. I could see what it's doing to them. And that's why I make sure that I do my due diligence now. When I talk about things, I make sure I double check. Even with the Nazir allegation that the mother came out about the FBI claim, I walked you guys through her Facebook to make sure we verified, was this really her Facebook? Because anything I release on this platform, you don't know who it's going to get to. I know my platform is very small, it doesn't have a lot of views. But even with the small platform, it could get into the wrong hands. And if I have a mistake and put something out here and not do my due diligence, and it gets into the family's hands, and now they're in pain, their blood, their pain, their misery is on my hands. And I don't want that. I care about the truth and nothing but the truth. If it's an allegation, it's an allegation. But I always emphasize that it's an allegation. But when it comes to an arrest, that's something you need to be careful about, because this is the very, very desire of their heart is for arrest. We heard, if you saw that hearing today, man, oh man, oh man, we saw that hearing today by, oh goodness, by the family. Let me show you. I want to show you again, because if you got to look at that sister, man. When you look at her and you look at her body language, it was not even a thought in her mind when the reporter asked. They said, "What do you want to see happen?" She adamantly went to the microphone and said all of them extradited. Not just one, they want all of them. So imagine that's what they want. And they have to wait over a month and still nothing, right? But they have to hear this fake news that hasn't been verified. Again, it's all speculation, no matter how you put it. I don't care about for provisional, lack thereof. If you don't have evidence of it, don't speak about it, because you're giving this family false hope. And you're a contributing factor to their pain. It's not helping them. You're not advocating for justice if you're pushing a lie that you cannot validate. And that's why I'm pushing on this, because I'm literally seeing this family deteriorate in our face, and it's causing me pain. Because if anybody knows my platform, and if anybody knows me, there's people that know me back from January when I really started doing this. I'm an empath. So I literally take on the pain of other people, which I hate about being an empath, because you can literally, it's like you literally can feel the pain of the people that's in your life or that you see or observe. And so I feel their pain. That's why when I found out it wasn't true, y'all know I got straight on my platform and was like, I am sorry. I didn't know, it's not true. I confirmed that it's not true, because I don't care about a click or a view. I care about the truth, and I care about this family, and I care about each story that I talk about. Each one. Right. Like Lovely Bones said, the audacity of that reporter. And the thing that was really painful about it, Lovely Bones, is that he just kind of walked his statement back without coming out and saying, I'm sorry, it's not true. He's actually bragging on his profile about having American reporters report on his news. Let me show y'all. This man just wanted clout. That's what he wanted. He wanted clout. He's on his platform talking about American reporters are reporting on our news. Let me show you guys. Let me show y'all what I'm talking about. He's just proud to be referencing the American reporters. He doesn't care about Shanquella. I mean, he lost the lawsuit. He was actually found liable for lying about a woman, claiming that she was using sex, or basically to push her her agenda online to become a political figure. Okay, and now he posted this. The name of, let's see what he posted now. Here he go again, y'all. Here he go again. I feel so sorry for this family. I hope they don't see this stuff. Oh, Lord, please help me, Jesus. Help me, Jesus. Because even if he has the source, even if he has it, I would say don't even speak about it until the family knows about it. They have a right to know about it. It's like, come on now. So, oh goodness, help me, Jesus. Help me, Jesus. Okay, let's see. Hold on, guys. I'm trying to find you guys this other post, because I don't even want to share that on my platform. I'm not even going to share it, because I'm going to wait until the family releases that information, just out of respect for the family. It's not about getting a story or being the first to publicize something. It's about waiting for the family and being careful about the family. Oh goodness, did he delete it? Okay, here he is. So he has this thing. Here it is right here. I'm going to show you guys what he's trying to do. He's trying to get clout. The man is trying to get clout. I would say just wait to report on that stuff. Wait for the sake of the family. For the sake of the family. But here he puts here on this little quote here, he says, All roads lead to Metropolmix. All U.S. media play our information. Great. All roads lead to Metropolmix. All the media in the United States, all media in the United States reproduce our information. Magnificent. He's just trying to get clout. That's all this is about. It's about clout. It's not about trying to really, he doesn't care about Shanquella. I mean, he literally was found liable by a lawsuit for political gender violence. So we know that he clearly, in my opinion, it's just my opinion, doesn't really care for the rights of women. So in my opinion, his agenda is for clout. That's what it is. And I would just say, if you don't have evidence of it and you can't produce evidence, and you should present that to the family first if you have evidence of it, but don't put that online, because now you have these parents out here emotionally exhausted. They feel like they're not being informed properly by the authorities, as they should, because they have Marcy's law rights. They do. And I understand that the federal government has its duty to keep certain things confidential, but eventually that information does get produced, unless it's sealed. Unless it is sealed, like I said, they can't have an ex parte hearing to have that information sealed. Okay, they can. But eventually that information does get released and we know of something. Okay. And I want to go over what Marcy's law is, because I keep talking about it, and I think that's kind of insensitive, because some people may not even know what Marcy's law is, you know? So let me just talk about what that is. Marcy's law is basically, it's a law that and you know, it's actually in a certain jurisdiction, but I'm pretty sure they have some type of national law similar to that. But this one is in California, but I'm pretty sure there's national laws like that, or national interest in keeping the victims informed. But basically it's analogous. This is an analogous law that I just want to share. It's just that victims have rights and protection, you know, and it's something that California did again, but it's something I would think that also other states have, and federally they will have. For example, the Florida governor endorses Marcy's law also. So it can have a national aspect to it, analogous to that. That basically that they're entitled to have notice. Entitled to have notice of what's going on. Entitled to speak. You know, speak, for example, for sentencing, to speak and so forth. So that's kind of essentially what it is. And they have Marcy's law throughout other states too, not just California. For example, like I said, in Florida and Ohio. It's not clear about the federal aspect of it, and I can look into that, the federal aspect of it, but I'm pretty sure federal has something similar as well. But I would say, because this is a sensitive matter, I wouldn't even speak on it. He is still on his platform though, speaking about it. I would just say he's just trying to be the first person to get clout again, still speaking on it. But I would just say, as a blogger, just wait, because you know the parents are going to see this. Oh my goodness. And yes, it is true that the Mexican government, they have precautionary measures in their country. Like I talked about yesterday on my platform, that the Mexican government has certain precautionary measures in their country so that suspects or defendants are not exposed to the media. So based upon our treaty with Mexico, they would follow some of those rules, you know, just out of respect for Mexico. However, in America, we have constitutional rights to a limited hearing as it relates to extradition, to have an evidentiary hearing where they present the evidence, and it moves through the certain channels of government that we talked about, which we have not seen any of that. Okay. And another thing that has been spoken is, like I said, FBI is still working its way through the CABO 6 and whatever else they're doing, because we can infer that based upon what Nazir's mother has already said. And Nazir's mother has already said that her son was just recently interviewed. That to me creates the inference in my mind, a logical inference, that they're still working their way through interviewing these individuals. So how would they prematurely, in my opinion, arrest someone if they don't have all the evidence? Stacey, you said, who are you talking about? What do you mean, sweetie? Who am I talking about? I'm talking, wait, which part are you talking about, girl? Because I've been talking about different topics. I was talking about extradition just now. Speak Vision says, it's unfortunate that every YouTuber or reporter does not have the family's best interest at heart. Some people have just want to be seen. I know, it's so heartbreaking. It's like, man, it's not about y'all. Especially some of these people don't even report on crime. It's not even it's not even what their page is about. They report on like celebrities or whatever. And now all of a sudden, because this is a big case, they want to interject themselves into an area that they don't even really cover. So it makes sense, because they don't really understand the pain that families go through, because they don't really cover these cases regularly. Whereas individuals who do, they kind of understand the severity of these cases and how to be delicate with it and be very careful. I know a lot of crime bloggers out there that I've been watching, and they are similar. They've been very careful about the information they release. When they found out about the alleged fake information about the arrest, they were quick to go on their platforms to address it and vocalize that there wasn't an arrest, because they understand the sensitive nature of these cases and the severe impact it has on the family. So they didn't want to, let that information just flow out there without quickly addressing it. That's what I've been noticing from at least the crime bloggers. But individuals who are not into crime, criminal reporting, they don't understand the severity of these cases. They're just quick on, let me just report gossip. They like to report gossip stuff. But they don't usually talk about like celebrity gossip. You know what I mean? Like, what's going on with Kim Kardashian, or what's going on with, I don't know, what's some celebrities out there, Megan or Beyonce or Jay-Z. That's what they're usually typically reporting on. So if they step out of their normal content, and now they're stepping into a genre or whatever, or area that they're not used to, they don't understand the severity of these cases and how sensitive they are, and how you have to tread very lightly and be empathetic to the family. Because believe it or not, the family goes online and they search YouTube. They do. I've had experiences with it. I've had many victims, parents, family members, friends comment on my page, message me, and I'm a small blogger. And at first I was like, nobody gets my page. Nobody sees my stuff. I didn't think anything of it. But yes, they do. They do. They will see it. So that's why I'm very careful. I make sure I try to tread lightly, because they do see this stuff. They go online. They're searching on YouTube because they're searching for answers. So imagine they're seeing this stuff that we're talking about on YouTube. So it's not about a click. It's not about a view. It's not about numbers. It's about the truth. Now, we don't have the truth at all. Everything that has been reported has been allegations, rumors, speculations. But when it comes to an arrest, that you got to be careful with that. If you don't have evidence, don't speak about it, because it's the family. That's what they want. And they're not getting information. And you're over here reporting, hey, there's an arrest, there's a detain. And the parents aren't hearing anything. So what are they doing? Now they're blasting the FBI. They're reaching out to the FBI, and the FBI says, we can't speak. But they're like, well, you can't speak to me, but we got bloggers over here saying there's arrest. Why aren't you speaking? You know what I mean? Like, why aren't you speaking to me? This blogger knows more than I do, and I'm the victim. You know what I mean? So you see what happens? You see what happens? It's so sad. They just want to be right. And I'm not speaking about any particular blogger. I'm just speaking in general because I could tell the parents are catching wind of this. And you can see today, just watch my video, look at Tequila Long. Look at Tequila Long. She waited until the very end of the press conference. And the reporter who said that there was an arrest, she made that statement at the very beginning. So the fact that Tequila was managed to hold on to that thought to correct that woman all the way to the very end, after several minutes had passed, several questions had been already asked after that first initial misstatement, she remembered it. That's how I knew it was significant to her, that she remembered it. If it wasn't that significant to her, and if it had not been affecting this family as much as it is, in my opinion, based on my observations, she would not have recalled it after all that time had passed. And she made it a point to emphasize at the very end of that hearing, there has been no arrest. And she looked assertively at that reporter and waited until that reporter corrected herself and said, the arrest warrant. And then she said, okay, meaning you better correct that. I'm tired of the lies. I'm tired of the misstatements. I haven't even been informed of that, but yet you guys are spewing this out and I can't even get an answer. That to me hit me to my heart. When I saw her do that, I knew it was affecting this family. I knew it. Because I was like, wait a minute, how does she sit there and remember that statement? And I heard that statement at the very beginning of the press conference. You guys need to sit down and listen to the whole press conference again and pinpoint the very minute when the reporter refers to the arrest. And then time it from that time on until Tequila goes back to the microphone. It's several minutes after that. She made it a point. She remembered. That's how you know how significant it is to her, and how significant it's affecting her. And if you look at her, oh my goodness, look at her mother. Oh my God. I'm going to play it. I got to play this part, guys. I got to play it. I have to play it because you got to look at Salamandra's face too. Just look at her face, because I didn't even emphasize that when I was talking about it before. Look at Salamandra's face. Hold on, y'all. Look at Salamandra's face. And the sad part about this, guys, is look at the title of this. Look at this. They said, everybody extradited to Mexico. The misinformation of that title, when you read that, a layperson will think, oh, there's been a full arrest, right? Everybody's been extradited. When I first saw that, I thought that. I was like, oh, has there been an update? Did they find out that everybody was extradited? That's pretty fast. Wow. We went from one arrest to everybody being extradited. Again, like, people are trying to get a click, because what does that do? That makes you want to click on the video because you think there's an update. Everybody's been extradited. And that's not what Shanquella's sister said. She was saying that's what she wants. She wants everybody extradited to Mexico. She wants all 6 of them to be arrested. So I want you guys to look at their faces. Look at their body language. That's the only way you're going to see it, because they're not going to come out and directly tell you.
So Saturday we have guest speakers coming in, basically to show their support for the Robinson family, continued support for the Robinson family, and it's something that, as a native of Charlotte, born and raised in the community.
First of all, here, look at Salamandra's face. Look at her face. She is emotionally drained. Look what this tragedy has done to this family, first and foremost. And now let's just look at I don't think this version is going to let me see Salamandra's mom. Hold on, guys. I'm going to get a better version because this one doesn't give me Salamandra. I need to see. Hold on. I need to see Salamandra's face because I didn't even pay attention to her face, her reaction. Just a second, guys.
This press conference was organized to talk about Saturday's Justice for Shanquella.
Hi, I'm Dwayne Walker, pastor here at Little Rock Amy Zion Church, and we are honored to welcome the Robinson family and the community of Charlotte to come to celebrate the life of Shanquella, as well as to just put the spotlight on this horrific event, and to, as Reverend Mobley said, to encourage others that you can say something. You are responsible. You are your brother and your sister's keeper, and we are responsible for one another. We can't turn a blind eye when we see things like this happen. We have to say something. If you don't say something, and as people, though I didn't be your daughter, and so we want to be sure that this does not happen ever again to anyone. So thank you so much for your time.
I want to piggyback on something she said. Nobody has been arrested. Yeah. Nobody's been arrested. Okay. All right. Thanks.
Did you look at Salamandra's face? Did you see her face? She was looking like exactly. That's kind of what the vibe I got from her when she was looking at that reporter. Like she was kind of echoing in her body language exactly what Tequila was saying. Like exactly, there's been no arrest. Stop with all the lies. Just stop. One more time, I'm gonna play that just one more time to look at Salamandra because we looked at Tequila in the last video, but we didn't really focus on Salamandra really much.
I did not know Shanquella. I have 4 daughters. So thank you so much for your time.
I want to piggyback on something she said. Nobody has been arrested. Yeah. Nobody's been arrested. Okay. Thanks.
Let that be known.
And so we want to be.
She said nobody has been arrested. Yeah. Nobody's been arrested. Okay. Thanks.
Let that be known.
Right. Did you see Salamandra's face? She was looking like exactly, like just complete, like just stop with the lies. Just stop with the misstatements. If we haven't got the information, why would you be insensitive to keep pushing that same story when we haven't even been told? Let it go. Let it go. Yes, I already know that, Nana. We talked about that earlier, that Mexico does things differently and they don't publicize arrests. Exactly. I already talked about that. I'm talking about how America does things. And America does things differently. We have a limited hearing here. Before extradition is done, they would have a limited hearing, an evidentiary hearing that happens here in America. So I already acknowledged how Mexico does things. I'm not talking about Mexico. I'm talking about America. And I understand that America will respect some of the policies in the ways that Mexico operates. But at the same time, they do have a limited hearing, extradition hearing, which has not occurred. It's been 2 weeks. And number 2, we know that there hasn't been an arrest because we even have FBI agents who've previously worked there come out and speak and say, more than likely, there hasn't been an arrest. Also, they've stated that before an arrest can even occur, FBI has to finish their investigation, which it appears as though they're still in the process of doing that. So why would they prematurely arrest this woman when they haven't finished questioning everybody? So I would say there's been no evidence at all. There's no evidence, Nana. If you can't point to the evidence, don't speak about it. You're speculating. Everybody's speculating. I don't care what Article 311 says. That's Mexico. We're talking about, do you have evidence? Can you point to anything? If you can't, why are you speculating? There's no evidence that she's been arrested. There's no source that can say, I can point to this picture, this evidence. And the photo that this person is using online, this Baja man who keeps pushing this Metropolmix reporter, and you got to look at the source. This man has a record of pushing false information. He was literally sued by a woman because he pushed false information. He's using a photo right now, a public photo, to try to keep pushing that there's been an arrest. Let me show you guys. He's using a photo that we all have in public to keep pushing that there's been an arrest. All he did was put a black cover over her eyes. That's the same photo we all have on social media. And people are still running with this. It's the same exact photo we have. That's one of her photos. That's not an actual mugshot. That is a photo that we all have. NC Beat released this photo. He got this from NC Beat. And he just went and put a black line on her face. I already know about all the articles of Mexico. I just talked about that. I understand that, and I acknowledge how Mexico does things. But in America, we have limited hearings. And if you've been on my channel, I went over how extradition works in America. They have a limited hearing. They have an evidentiary hearing. There's been no word of that evidentiary hearing. They're not going to secretly have this hearing where nobody knows about. That's not how America works. They have to have that evidentiary hearing. It has to go through the proper departments. It has to get to the Secretary of State. The FBI is still questioning people. They just finished questioning Nazir. Why would they prematurely go and arrest this woman? Why? When they haven't finished. And we have a previous FBI agent who used to work for the FBI. She spoke to the Charlotte Observer. She knows how they process these cases. And she even said, more than likely, there hasn't been an arrest. She already knows from experience. So it's like, why cause this family more pain when you have no evidence of it? Show us evidence if you claim you secretly know about this information. You're just speaking without any verification. That's speculation. I know Mexico's secret about it, but why are you speaking about it if you don't have evidence? You're just presuming. Everybody who's saying there's been an arrest, they have no evidence. Show me evidence. If you don't have it, don't speak about it because you're hurting the family at the end of the day. You have no evidence. It's an integrity issue. You're hurting this family because you just want to be right. I just talked about Mexico. A lot of people don't be listening to me in the chat, but girl, we talked about Mexico. We talked about it. We understand how Mexico operates. We're talking about the US right now. Two different countries, two different processing. And yes, I know people come into my chat late. I didn't know you came into my chat late. So, I mean, I'm not sitting here understanding where everybody comes in and what time they come in. I'm just telling you what I already spoke about and that I know and I understand how Mexico operates versus the US. And I understand you know the codes, but it's still speculation. Do you have any evidence that Dejanay's arrested? Can you show me any documentation, any records? If you can't, then you don't know for sure. You're just citing you're citing a statute. And you're assuming she's arrested, but you don't have any evidence. Nothing. You're just quoting a statute without any evidence. Do you have any evidence? If you don't, then why would you speak about something? It is speculation. It is. Call it what it is, because you don't have evidence that she's arrested. You just know that Mexico is secret about their arrest. That's all you know. But you don't know if Dejanay's been arrested. That's what I'm saying. Just don't speak about it for the sake of the parents. Wait until you get evidence so that we can protect the heart of this family, because that's all they ever wanted is an arrest. And we're speaking about something, and the more we speak about arrest, they're seeing this stuff and they're being emotionally drained by it. And it's causing them to be irate and angry at the FBI and pushing and rushing and pressuring FBI. And it's also, it's really impairing the progression of this case, because now you got the family angry. They're reaching out to the FBI every day. You're putting the pressure on the FBI and they're trying to finish up whatever they're doing. We don't know what they're doing, but we can at least infer from the fact that Nazir has just been interviewed just not that too long ago, based upon Nazir's mother's statements. We don't know how far they are in their investigation. We don't know yet. So I would just say, yes, we understand the Mexico's law. We understand the US law. That's a non-issue. The law part is not the issue. The issue is speculating and relying upon a source who cannot even tell you any evidence. He's using a photo that all of us already have seen, that was provided by NC Beat, by the way. He's not giving us a real mugshot. You guys already seen this. This is a photo. This is a generic photo that we've seen of Dejanay floating around all online. If you Google Dejanay's name, this picture pops up. He took that picture and he put a line on it. And like, people aren't looking at all the signs of red flags floating around with this man. He's talking about Mexico law because that's all he knows. He doesn't know how America operates. He has no clue. Period. At all. And another thing I have a concern with this man is when he goes on different interviews, he keeps changing some of the story. It's like it changes from platform to platform. Some of the stuff stays the same, but then some stuff changes. It's not consistent. So it's not just this allegation, it's the other things that he says that's not consistent is the issue I have with the man. And it's like, this family has already been hurt as it relates to the investigation. Now they got to hear this reporter out here who clearly doesn't know what's going on. He says he does, but he keeps changing up the story. 1 minute there's 3 people in the room. 1 minute there's 2 videos about one woman coming in intervening. Then the next time it's 1 video, and he doesn't know what the rest of the video says. It's like, make up your mind. Which one are you going to stick with? A story? Write out the story that you're going to have. Oh, and another thing he talked about on the police report, that a friend, he said an amigo, which is a friend, or amiga is a friend, administered CPR, right? That was on his written report. Then when he went on the interview, he changed the story. On NC Beat's interview, he now says it wasn't a friend that did CPR. Now he's saying it was Red Cross. This is what I'm saying. The stories keep changing. It's not like we're just saying, oh, one little thing he said he got wrong. It's like he's consistently giving these inconsistent statements, and any reasonable person would start questioning, is this guy telling the truth? Why is if he really was having this consistent information, then that would be different, but he keeps changing it. 1 minute he says there's not going to be a trial. He said that on lead attorney's platform. There wasn't going to be a trial. There's going to be 2 hearings. Then he goes on another woman's platform and says there's a trial. There's going to be a trial. It's like, dude, which one is it? Make up your mind. Find a story and stick with the story. That's why people are like confused. They're like, which one is it? Which one is it, my friend? Exactly, Speak Vision. Did he think no one would notice that this pic was already in the media? But Speak Vision, you can see people are gullible. Girl, they believe it though. See, you're smart and you see that this is a picture that you guys type in Dejanay's name. This picture is going to come up. Everybody has access to this picture. But he took that picture, you guys, and he put a little black line through her eye to make it look like this is her mugshot. Okay. He's doing this. He's pulling this information. He's like the same stuff we have. He's pulling this information and making it look like he has independent information. This is on his website, you guys. You guys can look this up. He took this generic photo. All you guys have to do is go on Google, type in Dejanay, Jackson, and this picture pops up, and he had the nerve to make it look like this was a mugshot, y'all. I can't. And the reason why I'm so passionate about it, because I really care about this family. Man, I care about this family. I care about the pain. I care about Shanquella, man. She can't speak up for herself. That could have been me. And I would want somebody to speak up for me for sure. So I'm going to sow the right seeds. I'm going to speak up for this family. Dinah says the parents actually responded that no arrests have been made. Exactly. They all have. We just talked about the father. He just did an interview with Court TV. As you can see, they're doing separate interviews, separate press conferences, stuff like that. Hi, Elgin. Hi, sweetie. Yes, ma'am. Dinah said there is a rally planned for Saturday for Shanquella. Yes, ma'am. We talked about that earlier today, that there is a rally in North Carolina. It is planned for 4:30 this Saturday. That's December 10th. So if you are in North Carolina, please go. And if you can go, let me know how it goes. I'm not in North Carolina, so I can't go. I'm so sad. Nana J says, I wish there were arrests. Trust me, I wish this case is getting the attention of the Idaho 4. Exactly, Nana. This case needs to stay up there in the algorithm. Oh my goodness. I couldn't have said it any better than how you said it. I 100% agree with you. 100%. I wish it was getting the attention that Idaho 4 is getting. Like you said, if you go online, I mean, all these major outlets are constantly reporting on Idaho 4, and they're coming up with different theories. There has been no new information about the Idaho 4, just that they have already cleared the Jack. And I really am still suspicious of Jack. I think they prematurely cleared that man. I mean, I don't know. That Jack guy is suspicious to me, especially because he lives right across from them, and he could look into her room allegedly and see when they came home and all that. He's suspect to me. But anywho, we off topic. But the major outlets are reporting like almost every day about Idaho 4, and they're coming up with all these theories similar to what the YouTubers are doing in relation to the Shanquella case, but they're not talking about Shanquella. The only ones that talked about Shanquella is Nancy Grace, Court TV, of course, the North Carolina outlets, but I haven't really seen like the major ones. And if they do, it's like they did one story on it and they kind of just went cold, and it's sad. And like Nana said, the case needs to stay up there in the algorithm. It does, Nana. It does. It does. That's why we keep talking about it, girl. Yes. Hi, Ellen. How you doing, love? How are you doing, my love? There's Ellen in the chat. There she is. Go, Ella. Go, Ella. Okay, anyway. Nana J says the way you keep it alive is keeping the videos and buzzwords rolling. Exactly, Nana. You are so right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, girl. You are right. Thank you, love. I'm so sorry about the miscommunication earlier, my love, Nana. Just let me know if you're just checking in next time so I don't, assume you're already here, love. Ellen says it's catching on. It makes sense because they're for college kids. Jack's very sus. Isn't he, Ellen? I'm going to do a live about Jack because there was this incredible blogger, y'all. We're going to go through his video and dissect it because I thought he was very persuasive about Jack. Jack is suspect, you guys. Ugh. Oh, Ellen, really? Quella's case is catching on? Okay, girl, let me know which outlets because I've only seen Court TV. I've seen Nancy Grace. I've saw North Carolina outlets, the different news stations out there. But I don't know. Let me know. Maybe I'm missing some of them, guys. FYI, YouTube flags naughty words, so keep it classy, y'all. Oh yeah, yes, keep it classy. I already messed up on this live already, girl. I messed up and said something I should have said, but God will redeem me. That's why I continue to talk about Shanquella. Amen, Stacy Nelson TV. Hi, Stacy Nelson TV. Hey, love. How are you? Yes, she is advocating for our lovely Shanquella. Girl, keep Shanquella alive. Yes, Nana said She is objective always. Yes, girl. And Nana, you are very intelligent. I can tell you do your research. You're not someone who's just moved by what's online. I could tell you actually do your own independent research. So I like someone like that because that's someone that's credible. Because that's a person that will do their own work to look up information and verify information. So I really like that. I could tell Nana's an intelligent. Okay, so ABC. Thank you, Miss Beautiful, Beautifully Flawed. How are you, love? She says ABC and CNN. Okay, thank you, guys. I'm going to check those out. Thank you. Okay, so we do have some bigger outlets that are catching on, but I just think they need to be more consistent, though, because we are hearing about Idaho 4 every day on those outlets, but ABC and CNN, I mean, they don't do it consistent enough. I need them to pick up it a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? A little bit more. Do it more. Do it every day. Do at least something on it every day. Just like they're doing Idaho 4, because even though there's no new information, they come out and they talk about, well, why they think certain suspects are should have been cleared early. What's their theory about it? They like just kind of come up with different, like we're doing. They come up with different analogies and theories about who could have possibly did it, and then they look at they go and they study the house and how the house is set up and where people were located. That's what they need to do about Shanquella. You know, take the whole case and dissect it. Who was possibly in the room? Why did you think they were in the room? Here's the videos. We need to be doing that, because the more we speak about it, it's going to put pressure on the FBI to be like, look, we need to get this thing. We need to get something out, because they are not playing. They're still talking about it. Let's get this out now. Let's at least give them an update or something. You know what I mean? Just give them an update or something. ABC 7 LA incorrectly reported an arrest on Thanksgiving. Exactly, Impress Naughty. It started with them. ABC 7 LA started this whole lie in the first place. They were the one that said there was an arrest on their title, and then they quietly changed the title. And then the following week, then it was this Metro Poll mix. They started saying it, and they have a whole new article, guys. And I'm like, here we go again. If she's still saying this, it's like, would you just let it go? Let it go. But the name Dejanay Jackson is now a criminal file, he claims. I don't trust nothing that man says, though. I don't trust it. So I'm going to wait until we get evidence. Right. Tia says, indeed, the clout chasing pages are beyond frustrating. It is. And you guys, as the viewers, have to sift through it. And it's sad because it's like it's deceiving the viewers, and the viewers are concerned because they want to know what's going on, and they have to they feel frustrated because they're getting all these clickbaits, and they're like, well, where's the real news? I'm not going to go on YouTube anymore because I can't get real news. So that's what's frustrating too. It's frustrating for the victims, number one, and then it's frustrating for the viewers that are trying to find the truth, and they have to figure out, well, what's true, because one YouTuber saying there's an arrest, another YouTuber saying there's not an arrest. They're like, well, what is the truth here? I'm trying to find out the truth. You know what I mean? Oh, Jordan says, I really think the news is having trouble covering 500 plus Black murders per month, right? How do they prioritize them? If you look at the faces and cases of these victims, there's so many heinous crimes. There is. That's a good point. But I think Shanquella's story is a little different. This one, I think, definitely should get publicity. To me, just the whole allegations involved in this, how this woman was brutally beaten naked on camera, and how alleged friends sat there and watched this girl get brutally beaten. That is pretty heinous. Pretty heinous, y'all. So, Ellen says, I'm trying some new research for clues with AI, trying it with Quella's case. Oh, cool. Let me know what you get, what research you get. So what do we need to research? What clues do they need? What do we need to research? Well, it depends on what you want to research. What are you looking to research? Ooh, speaking of research. Let's take a look at Interpol. I was going to do this on another live, but since we're here, We can look at the Interpol website and see what they have up. Now, they don't have to show us anything on here, y'all. We're not technically entitled to this information. We would want to look at the red notices for wanted persons. But let me read this to you. It says, a red notice is a request to law enforcement worldwide to locate, provisionally arrest a person pending extradition, surrender, or similar legal action. The red notice is not an international arrest warrant. The individuals are wanted by the requesting member country or international tribunal. Member countries apply their own laws in deciding whether to arrest a person. The majority of red notices are restricted to law enforcement only. So that means, this right here means that not everybody's going to get the information. So easily, Dejanay's information can be restricted to law enforcement only and may not even be on this website, period. Okay. But again, as I mentioned, in the US, we get a limited hearing. That limited hearing would have been publicized already. We would have known about it. They're not going to just hide a public hearing like that unless, like I said, they had an ex parte hearing and they appeared before the court and they requested to seal all that information. But again, we haven't heard anything about that. A hearing being requested to seal any information. We haven't heard that. Extracts of the red notices are published at the request of the member country concerned and where the public's help may be needed to locate an individual, or the individual may pose a threat to public safety. So here is the filter criteria you can see here on the left. You can filter and see who you're looking for. So we are looking for a United States citizen. That's who we're looking for. And we're going to go with female. I'm going to try to be general as ever because maybe I'll put Mexico here just to narrow it down a little bit because Mexico is the one that issued the warrant. So let's use these keywords and try to search. And it says there are no results for the search. This doesn't mean that Interpol doesn't have it, though. Doesn't mean that, because as Nana was saying, Mexico has a different process. They like to keep everything private. But at least we went there and we could see us there. There's nothing there, y'all. There's nothing there. Doesn't mean they don't have it, but there's nothing there. More than likely, though, there's probably not an arrest because they haven't. FBI is still questioning the CABO 6 and still gathering the rest. I don't know what else they're doing, but they just questioned Azir. So it looks like they haven't finished all their investigations. And we also seen that other news station that was going around. He's going around to different people's houses and he saw business card from a sheriff's office or a law enforcement trying to get a hold of CABO 6. So it looks like they're trying to interview these people. So why would they prematurely arrest? It just sounds weird. Okay. Yep. Time to simply boycott CABO, Mexico. Yeah. Oh, it's Paris says, I unfollowed them, the clickbait channels. Yeah, we just need the truth to come out. That's all we need. It's the truth. It's not about subscribers or views. It's the truth. Heinous is definitely the word. Girl, that is the word. Thank you for helping us. It is. Paris, I've actually been reporting some like this need to stop. It does. It just needs to stop. And oh, I'm glad. So you're a blogger too, Lovely Bones? Perfect. Okay, we have Stacy Nelson is a blogger, I believe, and Lovely Bones. So yeah, if we have all of our bloggers unite together, all of us unite together, the ones that care about the truth, and we all push this on our channels, about the truth and that, it's important that we get the truth out. And even if like Nana was saying, yes, Mexico is private, but if you don't have evidence that this woman has been arrested, why are you speaking on it? Just leave it alone. Because you're hurting the family at the end of the day. You're hurting them. And you said you care about Shanquella, but you're not showing that by hurting this family and causing them emotional turmoil. because that is turmoil to them. They've been waiting over a month now for an arrest. And you're giving them false hope because they can't verify the information you're telling them. Oh, yeah, and this is true. Karen Simmons is right. We are not journalists. Exactly. I am not a journalist. I'm just a YouTuber. I'm a regular person. I'm an attorney by day. And just a person that loves to talk about criminal cases because I used to be a criminal prosecutor. I used to be a deputy district attorney, and I'd prosecute these cases in court on a daily basis as a career. But I am by no means a journalist. I did not go to school to be a journalist. I went to school to practice law, okay? So, Karen Simmons, thank you for clarifying, my love. Thank you. Okay? Keep your assignment. God's due season always comes. I'm not moved by what I do or see. It's true, though. Nobody's a journalist. They're just YouTubers. She's right. If the FBI interviewed Nazir a few days ago, I hope and pray that they're interviewing the others as well. I'm pretty sure impressed they're working their way through, love. It only makes sense, right? If they interviewed Nazir, then they had to have been, interviewing the others. That's why they're quiet. And the reason why they're quiet, in my opinion, is because they already have lawyers and the lawyer has advised them to remain silent. That's why if you keep seeing these fake people out here pretending to be Winter, Dejanay. Ooh, hold on. Man, I got to show you guys something. This is not even related to this live right now. But, so there was this girl that was supposed to go on this trip. She was supposed to go on this trip. But, what's my love? Oh yeah, Shanquella actually tagged her on that video. She tagged her on the video. This poor girl right here. It's kind of sad because people are harassing this girl and she didn't even go on the trip. But she's getting hate mail too. She is close friends with those girls, the Winter, Donovan, Elise, and Dejanay. She claims she's friends with Shanquella, but again, the pictures say differently, y'all. So this girl here, she was supposed to go on this trip with the CABO 6. She was the one that flaked. She was the one that Shanquella tagged on Instagram. She tagged her on Instagram when, they were playing that game. And the game, I'm going to show you guys what she posted on October 30th. Because remember, Shanquella passed away at October 29th. But Shanquella tagged her on Instagram when they said, tag someone who flaked, who was supposed to come to, I don't know the exact words, but somebody who flaked on the trip or whatever was supposed to come but didn't show up. Don't take my full words for it. It's just a summary. So she was supposed to come, but this girl is lucky she didn't come. But the sad part is people keep harassing this poor girl. She wasn't even there. Anyway, she posts this on the 30th, the day after. This girl's close friends, mind you, with those girls, the mean girls, in my opinion, Dejanay and Winter, based on the photos we've seen. But she put here, she said, death is real and random. Now, girl, this wasn't random. You had to have seen that video. Don't be trying to tell us stories now. And life is just not effing fair. I'm not okay. I want my friend back. God, why? But it's like, girl, I don't see any pictures with you and her. How is she your friend? That's what I'm like, how is she your friend? When I've seen pictures of them, I've seen her with Dejanay, I've seen her with Winter Donovan, and I've seen them travel. So look at what people are saying. Some people they started out nice. They were like, sending lots of love your way, baby. Miguel French said, how y'all supposed to be Quella friend and lie to her mom like that? What did y'all do to that girl? Now, she wasn't even there, and they are on this girl like she was there. But it's like, girl, even though you weren't there, how do you say death is random, though? I'm just like, did you see the video? Look at these people that are like, now I'm done talking to you because that's nasty. Find you some business. Girl, shut up. Go clean off them. Look at these people. They're just like going back and forth in her comments. Just curious how the injuries occurred. It's news, so people are interested. Someone claiming she got into a fight. If you want a space to clear the air, let me know. If not completely understand, I hope you're able to heal from this. And they're like, but you left your friend. And she wasn't even there. She's like, I was never there, girl. Mind your D business. That's her responding to this person. And she's probably happy she didn't show up, okay? Because she's like, thank God I wasn't there. But these people are still, oh, shoot. This is not the one we want to see. We don't want to see that. She said, it's on that FaceTime call when Winter, that's why. Oh, it's her on the FaceTime call with Winter. That's why she's going so hard. She wasn't physically there, but she watched it all go down from the phone, Winter and Joya, best friends. So I'm sure that was her and not Nazir. So people are alleging, they are alleging that she was on a FaceTime call. I have no clue whether this is true. It sounds like a rumor to me. She said, both of you are very ignorant. So she's basically denying the allegation that she was on FaceTime. This girl is not, in my opinion, I'm just telling you based on the photos that we went over, and you have to had to have watched my videos when we went over the photos. I've never seen her with a picture with Shanquella. She's friends with the mean girls, Dejanay, Winter Donovan, and Elise, in my opinion. Not one picture. I'm like, how do you claim you're her friend? So they said, what happened to the girl, man? Because your ASS knows, but don't worry, you going to jail too because you was on FaceTime, and that's facts. And she says, I wasn't on FaceTime. So she's denying it. It sounds like it's probably not true because I didn't see a FaceTime. It looked like they were recording. They weren't on FaceTime, in my opinion. It looks like they were recording the fight. That's just my opinion. But here's a photo here to show you. There is not one photo with her. But you see her right next to Dejanay and Nazir. That's Nazir. This is Dejanay, the mean girl. And here is Joya, the one that missed the party or the CABO trip. Luckily, she did not go. But again, we can go through this girl's photos, and I'm probably not going to waste my time doing that because I don't want to. Let me see. Maybe I could. What happened here? Okay. But if you go through this girl's photos, you don't see any. How are you somebody's friend and you don't even have a photo with the girl? Like, make it make sense. Like, what was the whole purpose of this claiming she's your friend? Look here, though, guys. You see her name there? This is the thing I was telling you about where Shanquella tagged her right there. That's her name. All players send hate mail, mean text, DM, post to the people that flaked tonight. She was supposed to come. And there is her name right there. That was the night before she was brutally attacked. So that's how I found her. And this is the same girl I was telling you about on another video I did where they went, her, Dejanay, Winter Donovan, and Elise, they went on a trip to Cancun together. And again, Shanquella wasn't there. That's why I'm like, why are you saying this girl is your friend when you don't even have a picture of her? Period. This is what I'm talking about. Friends, fake friends. So someone says here, but you left your friend, and then she responded, you still running your mouth and still wrong. So yeah, she wasn't there, y'all. She wasn't there. It's just my point of her calling Shanquella her friend. And it's like, but how are you somebody's friend? And it doesn't look like you even hang out with this girl. It's like, make it make sense. Make it make sense. But I still think it's wrong for people to harass this girl. Y'all, they need to do better than harass this poor woman. Leave this girl alone. Let me see, but I think she's a piece of the puzzle because she actually was supposed to come to the trip. But I bet you she is thanking her lucky stars, y'all, that she was not there. She is thanking her lucky stars. She's like, thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Lord. So yeah, she's the only YouTubers I see still trying to push that arrest agenda is, oh yeah, we don't want to put names in there, girl. We don't want to use any names, love. I'm not calling out nobody in particular. I'm just speaking in general. And Press 90 says, do you think they did a provisional arrest where they, that's a speculation in Press, and I'm not going to go down that route. I'm not going to go give a speculation because, as I mentioned, that's just going to hurt the family. I'm going to leave that alone. And in my opinion would be no, because as I said, based on the information I looked at and based on this statement from the prior FBI agent and some of the statements that the FBI has said, it looks like they're still questioning CABO 6. And the article I read today from the Charlotte Observer says before they would make an arrest, they would have to finish out their investigation. And it doesn't look like they have. So in my personal humble opinion, I don't think she's been arrested yet. That's my humble opinion. Once the FBI has finished their investigation, I think that's when they'll move in to arrest her. Yeah, it says provisional arrest is the interim arrest. The purpose is to prevent the fugitive flight from the requested state before the requesting state to present. Yeah, we already know about that. But again, it's still, nobody has any evidence of it. So I just think it's not cool to just, again, it's speculation though. Does anyone have any evidence of it? Then I don't think people should just speak on it because it's hurting the family at the end of the day. Yep, I'm pretty sure they all know where they are. FBI knows everything, Paris. I think they do. Yeah, they've already questioned. They're working on questioning them. So in my opinion, I think they already know. I think they already know exactly where everybody is. I definitely think they know. Yes, ma'am. I only want the truth for the family. Exactly, Stacy. And you have a channel, Stacy? You report on stuff like this, love? Oh, she did say yes. Sorry, I think she does. She does. Sorry, Stacy. I think there should be some type of penalization for false bloggers. Like, seriously. You know what I was hearing on someone else's channel? They were saying that back in the day, like for certain stories, if people reported false news, then you could people's managers would flag their pages and they would get the videos would get taken down. But I guess that's not how people do stuff now. So I guess there's no way to really police it. She said, girl, I've been out of the YouTube game for a minute. I've been reporting the clickbait channels to YouTube when I see that BS. Girl, exactly, lovely bones, girl. Yes, do it. We just want the truth. And if you don't have evidence of it, just don't speak about it, because you're like literally saying there's been an arrest, but you have no evidence of it. You have nothing to point to. That's my issue. That is my issue. It's like they're just saying there had to have been a provisional arrest, but you have nothing to point to. You can't show us anything. So just don't speak on it. If the FBI is not speaking on it, why are you? Why? You're just hurting the family. You're causing them more emotional turmoil. We don't have evidence of that, Roberta. So again, do you have evidence, Roberta? Show us an evidence, girl. You are speaking stuff that you have absolutely no evidence of, period. You speaking like you know for sure. Have you saw her arrested, girl? Hi, Stacey. I love you too, girl. Thank you so much, my love. You're so sweet. You are so sweet, Stacey. I appreciate your kindness. Do you have evidence, Roberta? You speaking, girl, but you don't have any evidence. Nothing. Oh, Lovely Bone says, I have my bachelor's in communications and I would still never circulate something as if it's fact if I didn't have confirmation. Exactly. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, they're just speaking like it's a fact. It's a provisional arrest. But do you know that? Do you know? If you don't, why are you saying it? I know Impress 90. Impress 90 said, I know she is tremendously thankful that she did not go. Exactly, girl. I would be. She thinking her lucky star. She's not involved in that mess. Yes, we already know that, Roberta, girl. You must not have been on my channel. We already talked about all that already. We talked about that on my last video, girl. Go watch my last video. We already talked about Mexico. I know everything about Mexico. Mexicans don't have a jury. We already know they don't have reporters in the courtroom. We already know it's private. That's not the issue, Roberto. You got to focus on the issue I'm talking about. If you don't have concrete evidence that Dejanay is not in jail, and you can't point to solid evidence that she's there, you have no correct source, don't speak on it as if you are speaking a fact like you know. You're just speaking about how Mexico, we already know that. But we don't want to harm this family any further by giving them information when we have no verification. That's what I'm saying. We understand all that. If people have been following my channel, we talked about Mexico. We already talked about them not having juries. We talked about them not having reporters in the room, except for when there's an arraignment. They can come when there's an arraignment. They can't videotape anything, and they're private. We already know that, Roberta. That's old news, girl. That's old news. Everybody who've been following me already know that. She said death is random. I don't understand. I know. Isn't that crazy? Stacy? Crazy, huh, girl? It's crazy. See, people don't understand what it feels like to lose a family member, so they just keep reporting like they're the doctor of information. And the funny part is I be seeing people in the chat or in different people's comments like they know for certain this girl's been arrested when they have absolutely zero evidence, period. They can't show us one piece. All they'll say is, yeah, Mexico's private. They don't show that stuff. Okay, but how do you know they're arrested? Since they're private, how do you know? How do you get special information? If you said they're private, which they are, how do you know she's arrested? You're just speculating. It is speculation. Paris said, I lost my daughter to COVID, so I know what it's like to lose a child. My heart hurts for her parents. Oh my goodness. I'm so sorry, Paris. I am deeply sorry for your loss, sweetie. You of all people can understand the severity of losing a child and can understand what this parent is going through. So sorry. They all foul, girl. They all foul. They are, my love. They are. It's Paris. I'm so sorry to hear that. My condolences. Yeah, my condolences to you, sweet Paris. I'm so sorry. Right, sending hate mail, girl. They doing crazy. Yeah, they will, Roberta. They will get different levels of charges based on whatever crimes they're charged with. That is very true, girl. That is true. Oh, I forgot. Oh, yeah, girl. We don't want to push names. Let's not put names in the chat, okay, love? We don't want to, I'm not trying to, get into it with any bloggers. I like to stick to my own little lane, I don't care who the blogger is. It's just generally speaking, just if you don't have the concrete information, the ethical thing to do is just not even speak on it because it's speculation. Because you're just saying, oh, Mexico is private about their arrest. So I'm just assuming that she's been arrested. You're assuming it. I'm assuming it because Mexico didn't share their information. Okay, but you don't know that. So you don't know if she's been arrested. So just don't speak on it. Just wait. That's how you see the major outlets. They're not speaking on it. They're not, oh, it's private. So we're assuming we're going to release this to the public that we're assuming that Dejanay's been arrested because Mexico, according to this statute, Article 311 or whatever it is. I don't have it memorized. But Article 311 or whatever, it says that Mexico will not release any information and they protect the privacy of suspects. So we're going to assume, everybody, that Dejanay's been arrested. Do you think CNN or ABC News would report like that? No. They will do their due diligence and make sure they can point to a source. That is called ethical reporting. Am I saying every big news outlet is ethical? No, because sometimes they make mistakes too, just like anyone else. But you're not going to see them just report on speculation either. They're not going to be like, I'm assuming, that because this is generally how it's done, then they must have arrested him. They must have arrested her. I just believe it in my heart somehow. No, they're not going to do that, guys. They're just not. Since this case, I've been talking to my young children about friendship being earned, just like trust has to be earned. It's not freely given. Right. I think we all should have that talk with everybody. It's a scary thing now. This case was a wake-up call. Yeah, it is. Ellen says, but yeah, a friend said he read a book or played a game that sounds like this case, and maybe they got inspired by it. What? Oh, Ellen, tell me about that book or the game. Please tell me about that. I'm interested in seeing if that's what it is. Oh, Paris says, I have distant associates, not friends. That's what I'm thinking. My theory is, in this case, is that the CABO 6, except for Khalil. So Nazir, Dejanay, Elise, Winter Donovan, Malik, in my opinion, they were associates. They were distant associates. That's what I think they were, Paris. And Khalil pretended to be this young lady's best friend when he was just Judas in disguise. That's my theory. That is my theory. Okay. Oh, Stacy Nelson TV says, I have a channel. I posted on my community wall the updates about Shanquella Robinson. Oh, lovely. Okay, I'll have to check out your channel, Stacy, when you do a live. I would love to see your channel and show support to you also. I share the bloggers who are telling the truth about the case. You're included. Oh, thank you, Stacy. I appreciate you. We all are a community, and I really appreciate you, Stacy. And I'm very honored to see you in the chat, girl. Very honored. Girl, nobody coming for you, Roberta. I'm not coming for anybody, girl. I'm not coming for anybody. I hope you didn't misinterpret me coming for anyone. I don't come for anyone. I'm just talking on my page, girl. I'm speaking generally. I'm not pointing out anybody. I'm just speaking generally. So I'm not directing it at you or anybody else, love. Nobody coming for you, girl. I know what a provisional arrest is. There's a few YouTubers info that I even listen to. Girl, you have to be that way. You got to be please, guys, be very careful about who you, be very select about who you listen to. Because there's some people online that just want a view and some they report to you guys, and just verify the information you're getting. Don't just rely upon one source. Make sure if you hear something, go back and verify it for yourself to see if it's valid. Don't just take a YouTuber's word for it. If the parents are saying they haven't been arrested, then why are people claiming otherwise? Oh my gosh, that is amazing. Yes, Dinah. Yes, Dinah. I cannot emphasize this enough. This is what I'm trying to say. So I hope, Roberta, you understand me, love. I'm just saying, Roberta, I'm going to speak for Roberta because I agree with Dinah right here. If the parents are saying they haven't been arrested, why would we, if we all say we care about Shanquella, right? We say we all care about Shanquella, we want justice. Why are we, not we, because I'm not doing it, but why are people disregarding the parents? It's like you're at war with the parents. The parents are saying no arrest, and it's like people are picking a war with the parents, but you claim you care about Shanquella. Make it make sense. Like, it's like, what's really your intention? Because the parents are saying no arrest. And it's like, I don't care what the parents say. I don't care if the parents lost Shanquella. I'm just going to push my agenda. That's my issue. If you're team Shanquella, then you would be team her parents and you would respect them. If they're saying there hasn't been an arrest, if they haven't been advised of an arrest, just respect them and just don't speak about it if you don't have any evidence of it. And if you do have evidence, and if you've confirmed that she's been arrested, go reach out to the parents directly and tell them first. That would be the respectful thing to do. Say, here's the evidence I found. I found she's here. Here's her number. Before you release that to the public. That's what I'm saying. If we really care about Shanquella, why would we be arguing basically with the parents saying there's an arrest when the parents are telling you that they know it's not an arrest? It's like, come on, y'all. It doesn't make sense, right? It doesn't make sense. Tia says, girl, some of these bloggers have turned straight into Inspector Gadget. It's true. It is true. Right, Tia. He is the biggest snake. He teaches us all to be careful, y'all. Be careful. Be careful. Hi, Molly. Welcome, sweetie. Welcome everybody in the chat. I'm so sorry if I didn't welcome everybody. Welcome, love. Please forgive me if my tone's a little under the weather. I'm just caring so much about this case. Sometimes I get emotionally involved. Ellen knows. She's been here for a while, huh, Ellen? She doesn't take me personally because she know how I get with these cases. Just ask Ellen. She'll tell you. She'll brief you in on how I roll over here. But yeah, I'm gonna have to watch your channel, Stacy. I'm gonna get on it tonight when I get back from my gym. I gotta go exercise right now, but I'm gonna go watch you tonight. I love everybody in the chat. Please don't take it personal if I get a little passionate. It's all about my care for the family, not about, offending anybody. So please don't take it personal. I love everybody very dearly. My heart is very big. Ellen says, my friend who suggested it was like the story is also majored criminal psych in school. So I'm really curious to find out more. Okay, yeah, let me know. Ellen, message me, girl. I want to know about this story so I can figure out if what you're saying, maybe you might be onto something, girl. Oh yeah, Roberta, I know you didn't say that, girl. I know you didn't. Roberta, I'm not picking on you, girl. I didn't say that about you. Roberta think I'm picking on her. Roberta, I love you, girl. I love you. I'm just speaking generally. This is not about you. This live is not about you, girl. She think I'm talking about her. Girl, I'm not talking about you. I'm just speaking generally. I know you didn't say this. It's an arrest. Let me tell you, I understand what you're saying. This is what you were saying. You're just explaining to everybody what a provisional arrest is. You're explaining the laws, the different laws, the Mexico law versus the U.S. law. I understand what you were doing. You were just giving us education. So I am not taking anything you said to mean that you were saying there was an arrest. I understand exactly what you were saying, girl. Speak Vision says, I can't imagine how numb and heartbroken the parents feel having to relive this nightmare by repeating it over and over again. Me either. And imagine, Speak Vision, it's on camera. That's terrible that they got to see their daughter being beat on camera. Oh my gosh, this is terrible. This is terrible, man. Man. Everybody send some love and hugs to Roberta in the chat. Somebody just tell her you love her. We all love Roberta. We love you, Roberta girl. I know you didn't say that. I think she thought I was picking on her. Girl, I wasn't picking on you, love. I know what you meant. I know what you meant, girl. You never said that. You're not a part of the issue at all. We're talking about generally people out there who are actually online, who are reporting fake information. And girl, we know it's not you. So I'm just speaking generally, girl. This case will definitely make you examine your circle. Yes, it will. It will scare you straight. Everybody send love to Roberta, though, because she think I'm talking about her. Tell her, y'all, that we love her. Send her a virtual hug for me, please. Hi, amazing tribe. How are you? I've missed you. Where you been at? I've been wondering where my amazing tribe been. I'm like, where is amazing tribe? He been gone. What's going on, stranger? Where you been? It's so good to see you. Yes, we are Team Shanquella, Justice for Shanquella. Spread the word. Keep speaking about it on your Instagram, your Facebooks. I need y'all to be loud and clear until we get an arrest. We want to see that girl and everybody else who is found to have committed a crime. I forgot who said it. I think either Nana or Roberta, one of them was saying that. They need to be charged for the applicable crimes that they committed. So not everybody's going to be charged with murder, just for whatever particular crimes they did. So if it's an accomplice, then they need to be charged with that or whatever. Okay, girl. Okay. Lovely Bone says, people want to believe the arrest is so bad. We want a resolution, but it's not only playing with the family. It's also playing with everyone who's following the case and wants justice. It helps no one. Right. It's an emotional toll on everybody, but it's more on the family, y'all. But people who care about this case are also being messed with. They're also emotionally being, traumatized because they want an arrest too. Everybody wants arrest. So when they see this fake news and there's nothing to verify it, it's causing pain to them too, because they're like, yes, there's an arrest. And then they'd be like, okay, there's no proof of it. Where's the proof at? You know what I mean? So it's very taxing on everybody who cares. But I'm just emphasizing the parents because they're the ones that are directly involved. You know what I mean? Yeah, Maria says some of these bloggers are capitalizing on Shanquella's case, even if the information is false. I know it's sad, guys. And I'm not capitalizing, guys. I'm not getting any money, period. I'm I'm not even monetized, y'all. Nope, not monetized. You can look it up yourself. People keep telling me to do it. I might do it, but I don't know. I don't know if I want to be monetized. But I'm not even monetized. I just do this because I care. Because, you know, I used to have criminal prosecution background. And since I'm not currently a criminal prosecutor, I practice law in a different area of law now. I miss being a prosecutor. I probably will go back to doing it eventually, maybe be a federal prosecutor. That's my goal. But since I'm not practicing as a criminal prosecutor at the time, I love to analyze cases because that's something that I did for a career. So I use my YouTube to do it, to just analyze cases with all my lovely, smart, intellectual subscribers out here who love analyzing cases and getting to justice and finding truth for these victims who don't have a voice anymore. That's a sad place to be, to not have a voice. It is very sad. Like, as soon as I heard the mother didn't know about any arrests, I smelled something fishy. Exactly. See, that's when you know something's up, because they're going to know first. FBI, you guys, FBI would be first to reach out to the parents before any of the media knows. Before they would have a press conference, they would go to the parents first. So if the parents don't know, then this person out here who's spewing all this information don't know. He just over here trying to get clout. Okay, he just trying to get clout, y'all. He just getting clout. Kimberly Jackson says the marshals are looking for her. Once they find her, they have arrest warrant, and they arrest her, and then Mexico will have her. Right, but it's even unclear, girl, whether the U.S. has issued the warrant. That means the judge, the magistrate judge, we don't know if the magistrate judge in the location where she's residing or whoever is on that arrest warrant is residing, they have to issue their arrest warrant after they receive the complaint from the Department of Justice. And we don't even know if they even done that yet. That's based upon the information from the Charlotte Observer that we read that article today. So, girl, we still in limbo right now. We are still in limbo. All right, guys, I better go because I got to go to the gym now. I love all of you guys. We love everybody in the chat. No harm, no foul. We're just talking about the case, y'all. Have a beautiful, blessed night. And we love you, especially shout out to Roberta Collins, that we love our Roberta with all of our heart, girl. No harm, no foul. We just discussing the case together, and we all want the same thing, right? Justice for Shanquella. Love you guys. Take care.